Hey everyone, it's Bree. I'm back with another scrapbook process video for the Shimmerz Paints YouTube education team. And I'm super excited to share this one with y'all today. For the month of November, we are hosting another color challenge. Last month it was a fall color challenge, and this month it's going to be a winter color challenge. So we were all tasked to choose another color and to use it as like a primary focus on a winter themed project. So the color that I chose is a Vibez, and it's a spray, and it does have shimmer in it, and it's in gray flannel. Now I did choose two other colors to complement the gray. I chose Inklingz in Naughty or Nice, as well as another Inklingz in Me Blue. So I just prepped a piece of white cardstock with some clear gesso, and I have used a cut file it's an older one. It's from last year. It's from the Hit Kit Club in their 12 Days of Giving, how they would give away a cut file each day. So this is an older one that I had saved, and I thought it would be perfect to use for this project. I am loving like wreaths and painting underneath them and then layering it up with a cut file. Well, obviously a cut file wreath. So I chose this one. I cut it out on white cardstock, and then I cut it out on a older, I think this was last year's crepe paper Christmas line, but it's like a pink with red Christmas trees on it. So I cut it twice, and I knew that I wanted to layer them up. So my clear gesso has dried, and I'm going to start working on my wreath. I gently traced around the wreath so I knew exactly where it was going to go. So I traced around it with pencil, and then now I'm kind of going in with the gray flannel. And I did just like a harsh line basically to know where the inside of my wreath was going to go. And then this is when I'm going to get a little more creative and to spread the color out. I was just going to do the packaging technique and just spread the color out, but I was kind of having a lot of fun just painting and just being really creative and taking my time with the background. When Sammy had told us to, we're going to do another challenge for the month, I was super excited because it's a lot of fun. And I knew right away that, I guess when I think of winter, I think of obviously snow or icicles or anything like that. And so this is one of the newer releases, gray flannel is, and I wanted to challenge myself to use it on a layout. And, it is gray, and I think of it more like silver, which silver is definitely a Christmas color. And since it has so much shimmer, I thought it would be gorgeous paired with any kind of snowflake cut file or anything Christmas related. So that's what I chose, and to be honest with you, this was probably my third attempt at a layout. I had two other ones prior to this, but I wasn't happy with what I created. I had two ideas. Like my first idea didn't really work. My second idea, I really wanted to do some border punches, like Paige Evans had inspired me. So I thought about spraying the color and then punching out using the border punches and layer those up, but I don't know, it just wasn't working for me. So I just pulled out my Cameo and cut the wreath out, and then I was completely inspired right away. So I've got all my gray flannel down in the amount that I needed it. I did add a little bit more because not enough was peeking out from underneath the cut file. So I I brought the color out a little more. And then now I'm going in with a little bit of red with Naughty or Nice, and then I'm going in with some blue splatters. Now, unfortunately, the Me Blue, it's a very pretty blue, but it was kind of fading away too much. I think I had put my napkin on it, and I wanted it a little bit more dark, especially with the scrapbook one that I was going to use with it on my layout. So I sprayed Heidi Ho Blue, which is a coloring, and then it wasn't the right shade of blue. So I got out my Vibez in Deep Blue Sea, which is very dark, and then I just added some of the Me Blue, and it was the perfect shade that matched my embellishments that I planned on using, which I have up on that little dish up at the top of the screen. So I just splattered it around. I really still wanted to keep gray flannel as the primary color, but I did want to add a little bit of the red and blue because of my embellishments that I was using. Now, Inklingz, they're in these little pots, but you do have to add water to them, and you just spray some water, and then you just mix it up, and they're good to go. All right, so doesn't it just look so, like when you look at when you were looking before I put the cut file on, it was kind of like, geez, that's that might not look so nice. But then when you add the whatever you're laying up on top of it, it really just all comes together. So I love how this turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my red cut file. And I'm just going to glue it down in certain sections of my cut file because I did want some of it to be lifted up, you know, to have some shadows and have some dimension. I didn't put any foam dots or anything to give it dimension. I just only glued certain parts of it. And I didn't have the cut file lined up like completely. I did, you know, have it twisted a little bit so that you could see the red underneath. And I just love how this turned out. It is very soft. It's very soft, I guess, yeah. And the photo that I'm using for this project is a photo of my oldest son. This happened last year. It snowed where we are, and we're in northwest Louisiana, and we don't get snow, like, ever. I think it snowed in Louisiana the year we moved to Hawaii. So maybe it snows every 2 to 3 years. Excuse me. And we were so excited to know the day before that there was a possibility that we were going to get snow. So of course everything shut down because, you know, we're not used to snow. You know, we don't drive in it. We don't operate in it. We're not used to it as, you know, people up north who are. And so yeah, everybody probably laughs at us that, you know, we have one snow day and everything closes down. But honestly, we don't know how to. If you don't live in it, then you're not used to it. So anyways, we had a great day. Or not even great day. We probably lasted, I would imagine, maybe 10 to 15 minutes out there. But we had fun. We played in the snow. They had a little snowball fight. We made snow ice cream. It was a fun day. We didn't have to work, so we just hung out and played games. And I think we put the fire on. But that's just of my oldest son. He was running. I think my youngest was probably trying to get him with a snowball. But it was a lot of fun. So, oh, and I have to say our town, or like the city that we live in, we do have a lot of bridges. So, yeah, it's not safe. Okay, so I trimmed down my photo. It was originally a 4x6, and I trimmed it down to fit in the wreath. I kind of wanted to, I had it kind of envisioned in my head that I wanted the photo to either be on the left or the right side inside the frame. And it just happened to fit nicely right in the middle. And you see me tucking it in. I turned it upside down because I had added glue at the bottom and I couldn't tuck the photo down anymore. So I just flipped it and it worked. But see here, I think I had it more towards the left, and then as I progress, you'll see me kind of shift it down to the middle a little bit. So I added this cute little doily to layer underneath it, and then I layered a piece of, let's see, it's an exclusive paper from the Hip Kit Club, and I think this is from last year, I believe. It was designed by Kimberly Hutchison. So yeah, I layered it. It's got some really pretty stripes. It's got the reds and it's got the shades of blue, and that's where I kind of got my color scheme, was the red, with, you know, obviously with the red and blue. So I've been hoarding this cute little bear, this snow bear, and it's perfect because this photo is very playful, and I thought it went perfectly. I kind of have a hard time using like animals in my layout, and I thought this was perfect. So I just layered a little bear. I layered some of the snowflakes in the top right corner, and let's see, I've got a couple coffee cups, and then I do like this flower cluster on the right. I kind of lined it up along the wreath to go around it. And these, I forgot to say, these embellishments, these die cuts are from last year's Hip Kit Club kits, I think from November, and then one from, I think, an add-on kit. I think that's what it was. Or it could be the December daily or the December documented kit that I have. And these are some gold, I think they're foam. No, they're chipboard, I'm sorry. Chipboard thickers. And I spelled out snow day because, once again, with my titles, I mean, it really was a snow day. We had one, and yeah. So I thought it was fitting, and it fit perfectly right there. I opened this little Pink Fresh Studio ephemera pack to see if there were any other pieces that I could pull, and I loved the line of trees. And then I think that there's another piece that yeah, it's right there. It says Time for Magic, because it was gorgeous. God, it was beautiful. I love the snow. I was very grateful for it, but it was nice for a day. It was just, we were freezing. It was so cold. We're just not used to it. I think if we were to live in a snowy area, or like an area that, you know, you get a lot of cold, like the real true cold weather, we'd acclimate to it, but you know, we live in the South. It doesn't get super cold. Okay, so I added that little holly berry, and then I did pull some of these gorgeous sequins from Spiegelmom Scraps. The mix is Vintage Christmas, and I sprinkled those along throughout the page. And there was like pale pinks and some light blues. I just thought they were, you know, they complemented. They're very soft and I don't want to say feminine, but they're just very, they're very just pretty and soft and matched the whole layout. There's not, other than that big red flower, there's not really too much bold on the page, and I love it. It's very muted. So I'm going to go back in and do a little bit of splatters with gray flannel, and then off camera, or maybe on camera, I add a set of mittens on the left side. It's like another die cut that I thought that the left side needed. And there's my final layout. It was so much fun to create. I hope you enjoyed this process. We'd love for you to play along for the winter challenge for the month of November. Don't forget to share your project or tag me in anything on Instagram. I would love to see what y'all create. And thanks again for watching and subscribing, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.